Overall, college enrollment has seen a steady decline over the last decade, but it's even more pronounced among America's young men. Richard Reeves, president of the American Institute for Boys and Men, says it's just one of the ways America's young men are not just being left behind, but feeling left out. For tonight's interview, I recently talked to Reeves about the state of young men in America. So, Richard, tell me, you are in town to, among other things, interview Gloria Steinem.
Yeah.
Why are you interviewing Gloria Steinem?
Gloria Steinem she's a hero, or I should perhaps say a heroine of mine, because of her work for the women's movement, but also because there are real lessons that I think we can learn from the women's movement as we now try and do work for boys and men. I mean, there's a number of things that I think Gloria herself really personifies, which is, this is positive sum. For women to do better is not bad for men, it's good for men.
So if you had to catalog the top problems facing men and boys, what would they be?
The education system is not serving many boys and men very well, especially those from working class backgrounds or boys and men of color. The result of that is now the chances of a boy going straight from high school, or a young man going straight from high school to college, is actually lower today than any time since the early 60s. I think the second area that honestly increasingly keeps me awake at night is the way in which the mental health crisis is playing out differently. And crisis is a word I use very advisedly. It's a much overused word. But when you see that the suicide rate among young men, men under 30, has risen by a third just since 2010, I think that's a crisis.
What other public policy should people know about or think about or be considering along these?
Well, in terms of education, there are very few technical high schools. There's been a turn away from high quality vocational training. And the reason that matters is because boys seem to do particularly well in a vocational training environment. It's not that, actually many girls do too, but it seems to be a particularly male-friendly form of learning, and we've really backed away from it.
Some women, young women, will hear this and go, wait a minute, we might have a new script that's better than it was for our grandmothers, but what they might hear is this focus and attention on boys is going to come at their expense.
Yeah. We don't have to roll back the rights of women or the progress of women in order to avoid turning our backs on the problems of men. And anybody who frames it that way as a choice between the two is no friend of any of us. It's not zero sum. We can do two things at once. I'm really trying to do work now to get more men into teaching, more men into healthcare, those caring professions where we're actually seeing a declining share of men. And so there are lessons there too. How do you go about making an occupation more open to someone for whom it's not the sort of natural gender? Like, you very rarely say female lawyer now, or female journalist, right? Not a term you'll hear very often now, but you'll hear male nurse or male teacher.
Are there other sort of obvious things that either men and boys should do to break out of the ruts that they might fall into, or that those who love them should say, you know, you need to go do X?
There's a call to men in this too, which is in terms of the YMCA, the school, big brothers, big sisters, that actually we do need more men doing those things. This doesn't happen by itself. And this isn't just a public policy issue. And the call here, I think, to men is like, yeah, we should identify that there are problems with many boys and men, especially those less advantaged than us. Sure, there are things that public policy need to do. Sure, we need women to be on board with it. We also need to do something about it ourselves and step up and step into our communities, because by God, the boys in those communities need us.